Good morning. It is Wednesday, January 14th. This is My Left Ear. I am Carrie Freeman, the writer, producer, director of My Left Ear, and it is called My Left Ear because I get a lot of information and intuitive guidance through my left ear. So today it's 1 week before the glorious inauguration of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I thought it might be nice to do the week before. This is for entertainment purposes only. And I say it every time, but I especially say it today because there's some very grave circumstances going on out there. And I want to acknowledge that. What do? I do psychic coaching via Zoom. When COVID dies down, I can do it in person, but it works. I'm a hypnotherapist. I do therapeutic hypnosis, and I help people solve problems and habits, fears, performance issues, and I also coach writing and actual performance and speech making. So thank you for your subscriptions. Still trying to get it to grow. So if you haven't hit the subscribe, we all just sound like a broken record, don't we? Every single video asking for subscriptions. Anyway, thanks for your patience. It matters. And my email is carriesleftear@gmail.com. Okay, here we go. Now we begin. I want to let you all know that I actually spoke to Marie yesterday from Marie's table, and she's doing so much better, in better spirits, and she told me that she really felt everybody sending prayers and envisioning her wellness and her husband. So that's good. And I just want to do a shout out to Marie. It was good talking to you, Marie. All right. I've been watching all the events, of course, glued to the TV. And you haven't heard from me sooner because, frankly, I was just flattened by what I witnessed. And I also felt, be careful before you make a video. Really let this serious thing download before you get on and start spewing and talking. So when I do this video today, I'm going to be a little reserved, a little careful, because I think we all have to bear some responsibility right now for just being careful about what we say. So I do want to address 1 week from today. In fact, by this time, Joe Biden will be our president, our 46th president, Joe Biden. And Kamala Harris will be the first female vice president, and then a woman of color on top of it. Now, I want you to know something. Even though they postponed a rehearsal from Sunday to Monday because there seemed to be a threat, they're going to be okay. I can't say that for other cities in the United States. I fully expect some outbreaks in state capitals, probably. I don't think anybody's going to perish, but I think it would be smart if we all expected the skirmishes because it's up. But in my heart, MLE has been this telling me this. They're going to be fine. There's nothing bad is going to happen to them. This inauguration will go, okay? It's very important that you hear that. And I think other people that you may watch have told you something similar. If you just think about the importance of next Wednesday and the complete failure of security when this insurrection happened, they're like they're doubling down on the security, being careful. There's going to be drones and people on rooftops, and it goes on and on and on. So I want to go back to something that when the insurrection happened, uh, I went and I made a video right away because I got the hit right away. So in video 19, I told you immediately, before the news came out, before anything, that this was a totally coordinated effort amongst many people, many factions, with Trump at the top. It's pretty obvious now why he met with the Proud Boys at the White House. It kind of confused people, but now we know. It was an operation. And you know, something about my left ear that I've noticed over the years, I will get something so fast, like whip fast, or I have to let it sift through layers of processing. That came fast, the coordinated effort. I personally can't wait until they find out who removed the panic button. You got to know that was an inside job, and that was someone who really knew what they were doing. So, yeah, I mean, they had maps, they had blueprints. We now know that. I think the arrests have been brilliant. Some people have said they don't think it's happening fast enough, but I think it's, when you think about how many people were there and the phone numbers and footage they have to sift through, this feels like it's happening pretty quickly. The people in government, Congress members, maybe a few senators who were involved in preparing this, who were involved in that insurrection, they're going to be called to be accountable, but it won't happen maybe as fast as you would like it, but they will be. And there are people that I expect will be expunged from serving. And I do think the Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is really a cray lug nut, I think she's going to get removed. And that little Spitfire Bonert, my left ear just thinks that she is so guilty. She is so dirty, that little girl. I expect her to be gone, but she's scrappy and she will fight like crazy. She's got a lot of moxie. She's been trying to get away with not going through the metal detector, but as you've probably read, they're instituting like thousands of dollars in fines for people who won't go through the metal detector and won't wear a mask. I mean, thousands of dollars, hefty, unbelievable fines. And they're not expecting the people who break these rules to pay. They're taking this money out of their paycheck. It's automatic. And you got to get people where it hurts. So if they don't like it, they can quit their position. What do they do when they go to the airport? You know, what do they do? What do they do if they go do jury duty? They don't go through the metal detector? So now let's talk impeachment. The House impeached. Really good. And although 10 members, Republican members, voted to impeach, it doesn't sound like much, but according to history, it's a lot. If you haven't read Liz Cheney's declaration about why Trump should be impeached, you really should. I must say it's a great piece of writing. It's an amazing piece of writing. She just nails it. Never imagined in my life I would say really good things about Liz Cheney, but she has a lot of guts. And I think she might run for president, okay? MLE got a whiff on that. So the House impeached. He's impeached twice. But now the Senate has to vote for a conviction, all right? And I want to stop for a minute because I have some really smart subscribers and viewers. And a gentleman named Leo has kind of educated me a little bit. So I want to thank Leo. I don't have a legal background or a political background. I've got the intuitive background and a lot of common sense, as I've told you. So when I made the prediction and I said no impeachment, no 25th, what I meant was nothing will happen in 2020. That's what I actually meant. So now this Senate hearing is going to happen in January. And of course, they're trying to make it coexist with Biden's appointments getting confirmed, because that's very serious. He needs to get his people confirmed so they can get to work. And it's been done before. They can chew gum and walk at the same time. The morning can be for the Senate hearings, the afternoon could be for the confirmation, and that's what Joe Biden is shooting for. Now, if the Senate convicts, I'm sure you know this, they probably will bar him from holding future federal office or an appointed or elected position. And that is needed, of course. He can never hold office again. So also, if the Senate convicts, if there's this conviction, the president doesn't get a budget for staff, does not get a yearly salary of $1 million, does not get medical, is, like I said, unable to run for office. There's no security clearance. If he went to the airport, he'd have to go through security, and no intel information. And we're just going to guess and say there's no library. It's kind of a good guess, don't you think? Probably no library. Oh, I told you that already. Now, one of the reasons I need to process this Senate conviction, this is not getting clear yet. But what we do know is that more evidence and damning information will be coming between now and when the Senate convenes to start the trial. So as I see it, as we see it, as my left ear sees it, there's two camps. There's a group of people that insist Trump will never go away. He'll do this, he'll do that. He will not go away. And then there's another camp that says Trump will be too busy with indictments, depositions, lawsuits, massive legal bills. I mean, massive legal bills. And losing real estate via Deutsche Bank. His loans are due with Deutsche Bank. He does not have the money. And they are legally entitled to seize his properties. They can actually seize Mar-a-Lago. They can seize Trump Tower. And that's a sure bet. And then the third camp, which, it's kind of like I don't know what to put it. It's a fuzzy area because nobody's really come out with it except my favorite podcast, Tom Joseph, that he most likely has frontal temporal dementia, and that will take him down. He may leave, and we think he may leave and, be a big blowhard, showboat, make a lot of, but it won't last, okay? He won't be able to sustain. Now, Mike Pence, after he was threatened with being hung, and he had to hide, and the presidents didn't call him, he all of a sudden was summoned to Trump's office at the White House. And he went. I guess you have to go. And he went with an advisor or an attorney. I'm not sure, but I think I remember the word advisor. And he was there like a couple of hours and nobody knows what went on. But my left ear feels that Trump just flat out said, don't do the 25th Amendment on me. Just do me that one favor. Don't do. And I think that's what happened in that 2-hour meeting. We think that's what happened. And so Pence, I think, promised not to invoke the 25th. That's a little deal they made. And we don't know whether Trump has some kind of bad stuff on Pence to extort him. We think Trump has extortion information on a lot of people, especially Lindsey Graham, but I don't know about Mike Pence. Now, one of the things, I'm bringing this up because I got the nastiest message from someone who, really put me through a Cuisinart. You're not this, you're not that, you don't make predictions. It was, whoa. And I just want to say that I have, and I've done, and I could make a list, and I could do a list and tell you what I was talking about Kamala Harris before anybody, like way before anybody. I knew. I even called my brother and said, keep an eye on Kamala Harris. People caught up with me. 4 weeks ago, I put out a tweet that said there should be a parody on the word sedition, and it should be from Fiddler on the Roof to the song Tradition. And then last week, Randy Rainbow came out with it. But honest to God, my tweet was like 5 weeks ago. Clarence Thomas, I said a long time ago that I thought he'd be gone in fairly early 2021. At that time, I thought, well, maybe it's his health, but I see something happening, a stepping down, his health, wasn't sure. But now we know. His wife, Clarence Thomas, on the Supreme Court, his wife, Ginny Thomas, paid for, I think, 70 to 80 vans, all expenses, to get the resurrection people, the insurgent people, what am I saying, resurrection? Insurgency people, the seditionists, to Washington. She paid for it. So, if the FBI hasn't done it yet, they will be visiting Ginny Thomas. And we are wondering if Clarence Thomas may have to step down. We think he knew about it. We think Clarence knew about it. I also said that McConnell would win his Senate seat, but wouldn't last in that power position. I did that also. People did not want to hear that he was going to come back, but he came back, but he is losing his power position. So there you go. And then in just terms of crazy, icky news that's coming at the end of this whole presidential kleptocracy cycle with the crime family, that this story came out that you probably heard, that Ivanka and Jared, I call him Jughead, have a home with 6 bathrooms or 5.5 bathrooms. And they denied use of even one bathroom to their Secret Service detail. And then they had to build outhouses for them that cost like $3,000 a month to the taxpayer. This is a permanent stink on this couple, and I think it's really interesting that it comes at the end, because it's like these were the people that wouldn't even give the Secret Service, who are keeping them alive, one bathroom in their mansion. And you know what? There's usually a bathroom right off the kitchen, and there's usually a door. It's pretty ugly, right? I have a long quote today. There is a poet who's now 101 years old, and he's from the Beat generation. And I kind of grew up then. And he wrote an epic kind of political, sociological poem in 1962 called I Am Waiting. This is Lawrence Ferlinghetti, very famous Beat generation poet and visionary. So I went and looked up the poem, and I took just a little bit of it. And it's longer than what I usually read. I hope you don't get bored, but I'm hoping you might find this interesting. Here's a portion of the poem, because it's epic, it's long. You can look it up. I Am Waiting on Google by Lawrence Ferlinghetti. He writes, I am waiting for my case to come up, and I am waiting for a rebirth of wonder, and I am waiting for someone to really discover America and wail, and I am waiting for discovery of a new symbolic Western frontier, and I am waiting for the American eagle to really spread its wings and straighten up and fly right. And I am waiting for the age of anxiety to drop dead, And I am waiting for the war to be fought, which will make the world safe for anarchy. And I am waiting for the final withering away of all governments. And I am perpetually awaiting a rebirth of wonder. I am waiting for the second coming, and I am waiting for a religious revival to sweep through the state of Arizona. And I am waiting for the grapes of wrath to be stored. And I am waiting for them to prove that God is really American. And I am waiting to see God on television, piped onto church altars, if only they can find the right channel and tune in. And I am waiting for the Last Supper to be served again with a strange new appetizer. And I am perpetually awaiting the rebirth of wonder. I love this poem. I've always loved this poem, and that is just a part of it. He was really a visionary. So that's all for now. And I really appreciate your notes, and I even appreciate if you correct me if I'm not right about something. So I want to say thank you. We're going to be okay next Wednesday. They're going to be okay. We're going to have the new president. That light switch is going to go on. And even though we do have a form of a civil war, we actually do. But I think there's some kind of tapping down, resolution, and we'll see how Joe does. His intentions are really, really inclusive. So there you go. I'll talk to you soon. As always, make peace, make memories. Here we go with the bye-bye. Bye-bye. I have to go to the dentist. Bye-bye.